What's happening, people? I'm your boy, Kris, the critic of the Kris and Gina Relationship Show. Gina B is not here today. Filling in for, we got KG in the building. Back on, how many times now have you been?
This is my third time.
That's it?
That's it.
He's a veteran now to the microphone. He doesn't know it, but I'm putting together a little group. He'll probably be part of that if I can convince him. So now that I've said it, maybe he will. It's Tuesday, October 21st, day 293 out of 365. We got just about 65 days left until Christmas. Gina B, if you're watching somewhere out there, I know you like the National Day. It's National Reptile Day. It's Pharmacy Tech Day. It's Trafalgar Day. That is a place in southwest Spain. It's a famous battle there. Why their day is celebrated here, I have no clue. But it's National Pumpkin Cheesecake Day. And to all of us who eat too much sweets and salt, it's National Check Your Meds Day. But most importantly, and the reason we're here, it's cuffing season. And for those of you that don't know, cuffing season lasts from October to March, although it officially ends at Valentine's Day, and we give you 2 weeks to shed off that person that you went to the holidays with. Today's title, Why Do Women Date Bad Boys? Why do women date bad boys? Now, I told you before the show, we need to come up with, my working definition was, and make no mistake, any bad boys out there, there's no person. I was a former bad boy. I call bad boys players.
Okay.
D-boys, dope boys for my non-African Americans who might be watching. Who else can we throw in there? Thugs. We can throw them.
Gangbangers. Criminals.
Criminals. I guess we can class clown. I don't know anybody. I don't know.
Womanizers.
Womanizer, definitely. I was playing with absolutely. Would you throw, now don't disrespect, would you throw athletes, pro athletes in there? Because I don't like saying that because they are more disciplined, but they get on so many women.
It just kind of depends on what their personality is, right? You can get some athletes that are preachers, that are preachers' kids.
I will leave them out.
What have you? But no, you just can't like overall be like athletes and
Former hoops guy, he doesn't want to disrespect any hoops. I respect that.
Now the likelihood of some of these guys becoming bad guys. I mean, you might be spot on there, but
I got it.
Yeah.
All right, so we can start there. You know what? I want you to give it some thought. I actually had two ladies who entrusted me with their stories. They're older now, out of their chasing bad boy day, but I'm just going to read part of it so you all can get a feel. Person A is, she's about to be married Friday. She gave me permission. She is from Compton, California, now living in Chicago.
Okay.
She says, and these are all short people. I read quick. I grew up in Compton, and all I dated was bad boys, but mainly because they were fine as fuck. Their swag was unmatched, and they were simply cool to hang around. Not to mention, I always felt protected. And then there's the sex. That stroke is a form of art. I'm not saying nice guys don't possess the same qualities, because they do. I'm just saying there's something about that forbidden fruit that makes you want the danger, the rush, the passion, and in some cases, the money. So that's person A. And the reason I'm reading two are for the similarities. And then that's when I'm going to start peppering you with some questions. Because
that'll work.
I brought Carl because he's a former player. I don't care what he says. I didn't know him growing up, but look at him. He's a player. So, bring him to boost the women's ratings. Hey, man, it is what it is. Not that ain't the only reason. You're still my homie.
Yeah.
All right, look. So this person said, I've always liked bad boys. I've never thought about why. I think it's the aspect of danger, toughness that attracted me. I had my first bad boy when I was 14 years old. I graduated 8th grade. He was the first person to let me hold a gun. The first to show me what crack cocaine was and let me hold it. My first sexual experience, he was a CVL. It's conservative vice lord.
Man.
For those
being specific.
So I was told. Right. From over east, and I grew up over east. What was his name? He was 18 years old and a dropout from South Shore High School. Had he not caught a murder case, I'm sure we'd be married and we'd have a son. He did 27 years in prison. He got out in 2020. We're still close. After that, I got another vice lord. This one from the west side. And this by the time I had graduated high school. I was headed to college. This is a college-educated sister. So let's not pretend that there aren't a lot of our friends who have this same story.
Living
right?
on the edge. Yes.
But I moved up in the world because this one was selling weight.
Yeah.
Not just rocks, cocaine. Man, some of the shit I've seen and done and experienced will blow your mind. Yeah. But I'll stop there because I'm tired of typing. So I say that to say, bad boys they're just not dating hood, ratchet, sexy red types.
That's right.
They out here.
True. Yep.
So do you know any women personally that have dated those types or in college or whatever?
Tons of them, right? I mean, when we were coming up and growing up, all of the young fine girls in high school, they all had older guys, and
that was big back then.
We're from Chicago, so right. All of the guys that were desirable at that time were the guys who were making money, driving fast cars, luxury cars, and all of that, and quite naturally, right? Dope boys.
It's funny you mentioned older because I first noticed that, like when as a guy, when you first start driving, that's like up there with the first time you had sex when
Changes
you drive.
Everything, right?
Right, but still, a guy at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 doesn't have the same perks as a woman at that age because they had grown dudes. Showing up in real cars and houses and money. And here I am like looking at my father like $50 just ain't enough for a date.
Right.
But hey, we may do. What do you think? Because I can understand, right? What do you think is the draw in those types of people? I mean, let's forget about breaking the law. What do you think the characteristics are? Confidence should be one. What do you think are some of the traits that these men hold that make them, and we'll talk about why they don't like nice guys in a minute. Right. But what do you think some of the traits are?
Yeah, I think the main traits are the unpredictability, right? That makes everything exciting, adventurous. And when you're talking about like the criminal aspect of it, I think that women kind of look at that as being like, someone that can protect them and make them feel safe. Obviously, someone that is like a real risk taker is a very, very savvy individual, right?
Absolutely.
The manipulation is probably on like extreme high. Their confidence is on a high. But these are the people that actually are really aren't afraid of anything, aren't afraid of being honest, aren't afraid of the woman leaving, or aren't afraid of getting caught and stuff like that. So it's that living on the edge. I think that is that brings excitement to your everyday average woman.
I will say we have a few people in the studio. We're in the Urban 2 compound and Kris Gina studio suite. For the people here, it's like he was reading my notes. That was awesome, by the way. And that's why I got you here, brother. I told you he was a player. See how you knew that? But some of the things you mentioned, literally what I wrote down, bro. I said the confidence, the unpredictability. They're charming because anybody if you're moving through anything like that, you're charming, right? Yeah. So that's good. One of the things that I mentioned on the other end, and I looked this stuff, a couple things, because I'm not a psychologist, but it's probably a little bit of, a couple things. You mentioned the danger. I thought that was big. And I was thinking like, man, women are just different because I've never been sitting around a bunch of dudes and we're like, she dangerous. Like we could die. I really want her. Yeah. They just different.
Right. They think on different levels.
Man, look, it was exciting. It's something about if they grew up in a dysfunctional environment too.
Absolutely, as well. Yes.
So, yes. And look, I think 80% of us, me, present company included, need to be on somebody's couch at least once every couple years. Yeah. It is what it is.
True.
But if you're used to unpredictability and unhealthiness, it's like a little boy who grows up getting beat a lot of times those kids grow up whooping ass. All right. So I think it's something to that, some familiarity.
Definitely.
One thing I looked up, I was trying to figure out what's the difference between. I look at it like woman or man. I think we felt it more when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
You ever felt how excited you felt when you met a new girl or you got some new?
Yeah.
It's something like that. With it, it's a dopamine release. So
Yes,
I read
it
for
is.
women, it's a dopamine, and I got to read this because it's a thrill. What releases the dopamine? It's a thrill of unpredictability,
Right.
and that's a rush.
Right.
Now, so with that, it can be a bad thing too, because too much of this, it makes you impulsive.
Exactly.
Imagine a woman
Yeah.
doing some powder or something or some drugs, inebriated. She's a little less inhibited.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you get that feeling with the bad boy, that rush makes you want to do what he wants to do. And one thing that a lot of bad boys are, they're more of a recluse.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see a guy that's cool, mysterious, and he's giving you attention, oh man, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't even know how much until people started talking about social media and I did this show more and interviewed more people. I didn't know. I mean, men, we like attention. There was an older lady today that complimented me. She might have been 70. It was, matter of fact, it's the same older lady I ran into before. That's how rare I get compliments. She didn't recognize who I was. In the gas station right off 290. She says, oh, you have some smooth skin. I was like, really? She said, what do you use? I was like, I don't know, soap, water. So wait,
Right.
I bought a soda. I was about to buy gas. Look, but for women, that's more of a part of their makeup. So I was like, man, that makes sense. Here it is. Think about the cool dude in your neighborhood or that dude who was, maybe he was notorious.
Mm-hmm.
That dude didn't lack for having women company, right?
Right.
And like you said, he didn't worry about nothing.
Right.
Because it's almost like, go ahead.
Yeah. So you also have to look at like the challenge aspect of it all, right? I do think that women will approach that situation and feel like that they are more accomplished within the relationship if they were able to get that risky man, get him more so over to the side of, basically if they were able to change that man. Right, I think that is like one of the biggest challenges of all of it. The challenge of being able to change that bad boy into a good boy.
I say that
for them.
I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
I have women who fight me on that.
Yeah.
I think that women try to control the situation. Like a lot of women today, I think they do want Superman.
Yeah.
But can you really tell Superman what to do? That's why he's Superman.
Exactly.
They don't want to be like Lois Lane, because what did Lois Lane do all the time? Whatever Superman wanted to do.
Right.
But they had some trust issues, so Superman, where we going?
Yeah.
Where we, I don't know. I don't want that restaurant, Superman.
But subconsciously, that is exactly why they like him, because they cannot control him.
Absolutely.
He don't give a damn.
Right.
He gonna keep it real. He's gonna say what he want. He's gonna do what he want.
Yep.
But again, I still believe that there's a challenge there.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
And trying to actually change that man into a good man. And now the downside to that is, like, once they actually change that man into if they were ever able to do it,
right,
the thrill is gone.
Right, we gonna go in. Yeah, that's the he done ran to the end of the show. But before we get to that,
yeah,
I'm gonna mention a few famous bad boys.
Okay.
And we can talk. I'm gonna mention all of them, and then we can take them one by one and talk about.
Okay.
Well, we can take them one by one. The first one, the movie Bad Boys. Mike Lowry, even though he was a police person, was a bad boy. And the way you described it, he fit all of that.
Yes.
He was cool. He marched to the beat of his own drummer. He sort of pushed the rules.
Yeah.
Stature.
He had the physical stature.
Right.
Tall guy, muscular, good looking. But he moved to the beat of his own drum, and those are some of the things that I think that women kind of find attractive.
Yeah.
Right. Men that are just steadfast on doing what it is that they want to do. Right. Regardless of who's in their lives, where they are in their lives, women, tend to be attracted, more so to those guys than not.
I think there's also part of them. Let's talk. I'm staying on Mike Lowry now.
Okay.
You always see women online, which is, half fugazi, half truth.
Okay.
We don't want no community pain. I'm like,
a lie.
Mike Lowry got a lot of women, and the next woman never cared.
Let me jump in, and I will say this. This is something that I know for sure is 100% fact. You will not be able to ever in your life pull a bad woman unless you already have one. All right, I'm going to say it again. You will not be able to pull a bad woman unless you already have one. Women like to see exactly what your capabilities are and what you're able to attract, right? Because they're really competing with each other. They
don't like saying that, but they do.
They will never say it.
Right.
But that's exactly what they're competing with, just probably your best pull on a woman.
Right. Case in point, hypothetically, let's say you were a movie star and you're in VIP.
Yes, sir.
One hand on one woman, one hand on another, and you see a cutie sitting over there who's sort of staring. She's shy, and even though you have your hands on these two women, you do this. No matter what they do, they're not moving.
Yep.
She's most likely gonna come over in the VIP.
She's looking at all the attention that you're getting, and there's a reason why these two bad women are on your arm.
Right.
All she wants to know is why.
Yeah.
That's what she wants to know.
And she's coming by, but it's not deterring her. Like, I wouldn't go over if it was a woman with her hand on two guys. I'm like, oh no, I'm done with that. No, so men and women are different. I only point that out to say that'll help men and women, I think. Yeah. Knowing that, especially some of these dudes.
So coming into that situation, she already knows, right, what she's up against.
Yeah.
But she'll still explore it, right, just to see exactly what was so intriguing about you, to these other women.
Now, I can't take credit for this, but I think an older guy told me this when I was younger, and it works. Let's say you're not the man, but you walk into a party, a social setting.
Yes, sir.
There's 4 or 5 dudes trying to. They always say as soon as you walk into a party, you don't talk to nobody. Yep. Matter of fact, you see a nice look when you walk by, like you don't even see her. Because she's like, well, who the hell is that? He didn't even pay attention to me.
I got a story for you.
And then I'll go talk to a basic, average, just being nice, and they'll be like, damn. So, and it'll guard you into it. Go ahead.
Yep. So I worked this job before, right? And this particular job, it was a bunch of young people working. I mean, we had like attractive people all over the place in this office, right?
Right.
We just so happened to get a new girl, and everybody was hitting me on my phone. I wasn't in the office when she got introduced and everything, and everybody started hitting me on my phone. Was like, oh man, KG, wait until you get here, man, to see the new girl. I was like, okay, all right, cool. So I got into the office when it's set up, at my office and everything, and walked around, and immediately I saw the new girl. I knew exactly who everybody was talking about.
Right.
And I intentionally ignored her like she did not exist.
That's how you do it.
All right.
Oh, sorry about that.
And when I ignored her, later on, she eventually told me what that did to her. Right. She was like, first of all, who is this dude that then came in here
and ignored me?
And all of these other guys in this office was giving me all of this attention, introducing themselves, asking me if they can help me do this and do that. I was the one that eventually,
Isn't it weird how that worked?
Was able to talk to her.
Now, that's amazing to me. This worked out one time. Now, my mama said I'm a decent looking man, and y'all don't call Bobby Jean Levy no liar.
Right.
But so it's me, another one of my buddies. He got a Tiger Woods look. We in high school. We out at the girls' swimming pool, but he might be the guy that told me. I ain't want to give him no credit. Yeah. All right, Gillis, let me give you this. My boy Craig, 2 years, little short dude. We get in the swimming pool. We had been all in the gym, me and Roy doing push-ups. We know this girl, finest girl there. He act like he didn't even see that shit. By the time we left, this dude kissing the girl in the pool with a pool full of people. Now, he was 2 years older.
Right.
he claims he just walked up to him and was like, hey, I got this real big. You know, that's what he claimed. I don't know what he did,
That's what he called.
but it was unreal. It was like if me, you, and I ain't going to call him Urkel, but somebody like that,
Yeah.
and the chick went with him, we'd be sitting there like, what? Like he paid or something. Anyway, but hey, there's people out there with some game. So we talked about confidence, sir.
Exactly.
Next, have you ever watched True Blood?
I have not.
All right,
I can't
so
say I have. Yep.
for anybody who have, it was the worst vampire on there ever. White dude, mysterious, kill everybody. He would kill vampires. Eric Northman was my next. We'll skip him. The next one, Mo Better Blues. Not Bleak. That was Denzel's character. Shadow. Bad boy. Period. This is, I ain't saying they're homies, but they're bandmates.
Right.
What type of magic dust do you have? The star of the band, Denzel Washington's woman, we all vulnerable at this point. After seeing that movie, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
But I get it. Tall, dark, handsome, mysterious. He played the saxophone. She sees the adoration that this guy's getting from the masses when they played.
Basically.
And them dudes would fight over who doing the solo. You play it, I'm gonna play longer.
Yep.
I'm gonna play my trumpet longer. You play your saxophone longer. Because we know too, right? You get a little bit of attention in a good way, but you know, women don't really, to me, care. I don't, you know, I've seen them, you know, they gonna come up.
Yeah.
But we got our weaknesses too, because we will pass over character in a minute.
Yeah.
When we're younger.
I mean,
when we're younger.
Again, we will pass over character for the short term.
Absolutely.
The short term effect.
Yeah, we only
With
married.
the long term effect. Nah, all of that stuff, you know, comes into play
men marry
in most
character.
cases.
I don't care how
right?
fine you are, they ain't gonna marry no headache.
Yeah.
Some dudes slip, right? Some dude, they just slipped up and married Halle Berry a few times. Dude slipped up and married Jennifer Lopez. But then again, that's extreme cases.
Yeah,
that's super fine. That's super fine.
That's
different level. That's Hollywood, right? I got
that's again Hollywood.
Right.
We're not going to make Hollywood like the parameter of, you know, how we
I got you.
assess relationships.
Two more bad boys I want to.
Okay.
You see the 5 Heartbeats?
Yep.
JT Leon, who's cold in everything he's in.
Right.
I ain't never seen that there. My wife was like, oh, look at Leon. I'm like, you know what?
The sensation.
I'm so tired of these tall, dark hair. No disrespect. But they just, I always had to fit in where I could fit in.
I get it.
Whatever. I wasn't extra light. I just had to tell some jokes. But he slept with his brother's fiance. Duh. But again, we'll talk about the good guy or the nice guy in a minute. But again, it was an excitement. He was one of the lead singers. You know, he wasn't the lead, but he was one of the lead singers. It's something about the rebel that draws women. And I think after a while, at least for I don't know how it works in women's world, but for us, I'm sure as a kid, you saw a dude, you played basketball, you saw the effect of the older kids who could hoop, or you go to some games, you're like, man, cheerleader's chin a little louder for him.
Absolutely.
I was a dude on the bench.
Yeah.
One time I got in the game and got fouled, and the cheerleaders would say your name if you got fouled. I was jumping into people. I finally got to the free throw line.
Oh, yeah.
I missed both of them. But they got to say my name and the cheer. I was like on 10. Yeah. So, but you see who gets the attention, right?
Exactly.
And I will say, sometimes you'll see a dude that's sort of arrogant. There's a little dude, you're like, man, he didn't even say, he just walked by and they still like him.
Yeah.
We learn quick what work.
Exactly.
And I think the guys that don't, they get stuck over there. But this show is for you too. The last one, I think, and I'm dating myself. Maybe you guys have seen this on TV Land. It's a white guy who wore a leather jacket named Arthur Fonzarelli. the
cool, yeah.
That dude would kiss. It didn't matter how many of the baddest chicks. He wasn't in school.
Yeah. He was just the old guy.
He was old.
He would ride the motorcycle.
He was short. It didn't even matter. He wore a T-shirt every episode. So, I mean, those are some of the bad boys that I think work. But to what we said earlier, I have, and ladies, I'm not saying it's not okay to like a bad boy. I think those that do this over and over with failed results have lower self-esteem. That's just me. I'm almost sure.
Yeah, so a lot of it, you just kind of right. It's memory, right, from like what you're used to. Okay, and you could get kind of used to being done wrong and
Right.
having to overcome that, and again, I think that the challenge of it all is really what is kind of like setting the tone for women in that sense.
Right.
Trust me, it is not ideal, for any woman to, really just deal with the bad boy, but all of the things that kind of come along with it.
Right.
Again, the bad boy is the guy that is more aggressive, right? They feel like that, if somebody get out of line, that they're going to be protected. This is the guy that keeps it real. So again, his level of being able to manipulate is at an all-time high, because he can make anything just kind of seem like it's true or real, right? Yeah, it's a two-edged sword, ladies. And most ladies, they know coming in, what they're dealing with.
I agree 100.
They know what they're dealing with.
Why don't you think? And I'm gonna peek over on the other side of the room real quick,
Sure.
while the person who runs the studio is eating some chips. I'll just call her E. Do you like bad boys, or have you ever? Just a yes or no.
No, I have my first and only bad boy was when I was in high school, and
Right.
that's who I lost my virginity.
All right, cool. So I was just saying, because she's about as nice as a person as I've met. So I'm going to say 100% of y'all, based off you, have liked bad boys. Now, let me ask you this. And E, feel free to jump in since you're part of the show now. You eat them chips on the couch if you'd like. Saw you, Iron Carl. No. Why don't you think women like nice guys? And nice guys out here, I want my daughters, I got 3 of them, to marry nice guys. So I'm thumbs upping you, but why don't you think a lot of women like nice guys?
Because I don't think that women, I don't think most women are really thinking long-term effects.
That's exactly what I would say. Yep.
I don't think that they're thinking long-term effects. I think when it comes to a bad boy, they are thinking right now. The excitement level is high, right? The sex is off the chain, all of that type of stuff. Those are the things that matter right now, right? And in some way, I do think that they think that there is still time for them to find a good guy at some point. And once they get out of this phase of this excitement and living on the edge and all of this, I need protection, and I think that
city girl life.
They really think that I can hit a switch and
change. Right.
Change.
We had a question from studio audience. You said, "What's define a nice guy?" Sure. Well, we started off doing the bad guy, right? KG did a great job talking about they were sort of mysterious, dangerous, exciting, good in bed.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons they're good in bed, too, we didn't talk about it, they got more experience. I can tell you at a younger age, and that probably levels out later, but a man or woman, or a young man or young woman who's had more, they just gonna know more. It is what it is. I know that 100%.
So here's the two-edged sword, right? I think that a lot of guys actually start out as nice guys. I think most
absolutely,
guys
bro.
really start out as genuine nice guys. Okay.
Yes.
But something happens along the way where either a bad boy kind of stepped on their toes or what have you, and a girl, just kind of left them in the dust for a bad guy, and they just kind of like turned into this thing that they think that women like,
or
right?
what works.
Or what works, right?
Right, because that might even be them.
Well,
You're right. That could
this.
totally not be them.
That does not mean that these guys are not nice guys. They are actually looking for the right woman to be able to be nice to.
Correct.
And if she does not like reveal herself or or just I would say reveal herself, then they'll just continue to do what works.
I think a nice dude, to answer to E's question, I think a nice guy is, will you ask the question? Some nice guys are perceived as boring to some women because they're steady. They're going to class on time. They're going to work on time, same time every day. She knows at 5:30 he's going to be at the library. He has his study group. He has so. And while that is commendable, which I think for a long-term relationship, those are the types of people any man or woman should want. I don't think, for the reasons you said, it ain't getting nobody's panties wet.
All right.
They don't seem like, because they aren't caught up in chaos.
The chaos, right? The lack of chaos.
The protection piece.
Yep.
I had the benefit of growing up around some crazy guys. I mean, some dudes did prison, all types of stuff.
Right.
So I learned how to move amongst regular people. I can say, if you get into the smallest of fights and a woman sees, you might get in trouble by the teacher, but I swung on one dude one time. I may have embellished the stories. Ran to the front of the line. Teacher broke it up. Right. Now it came out, right? But the girls were talking about it so much, dude was scared to fight. It is amazing. That almost makes you want to do something. So I see why it's a rush for men and women too, because it gets you more women. The last one, you said something, and I promise you, it's like he's reading my notes. He didn't even need it. I said they think nice guys they think they're imposters. Because I've seen,
Too good to be true.
as we got older, a guy trying to just be a gentleman, be his best self.
Yeah.
But the girl can sort of see, this dude sort of, in her mind, she's thinking he's corny. But he tries to cool it up a little bit. It appears phony to her.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women, and this is not that episode.
But that's the dysfunction that I'm talking
man,
about.
Exactly.
They're so used
to dysfunction.
The dysfunction of it all, right? That even when somebody is trying to be genuinely nice and trying to be genuinely organized within their lives and all of that, those are the things that are found to be boring.
Yeah.
What they don't understand is, what they don't believe is that the boring part is just a part of growing up. Right. At some point, all the excitement and all of the risky behaviors and all of those types of things are just not in anybody's best interest, man or woman, in a relationship. So if you find someone that, has their shit together, that is not trying to, just like gamble everything away, they're not trying to gamble the relationship away, they're actually trying to be a good person to you. A lot of women just can't handle that, and they look at that as like, oh man, this is boring, and oh man, this is monotonous. That we, every day we eat a good meal, go and watch TV, watch the news, and go to bed. Right.
Listen, what's funny to that is, and that's what, again, this is not that episode. First off, shout out to my cousin Chuck. Thank you for your service, Navy guy.
Salute.
He said, good guys are safe bets, but are born to the ladies. I don't think they get appreciated. Somebody mentioned Marcus from Boomerang. Delilah Lucas, I see you. I know you dated some bad boys. You should have been on the show. Carl, we bring you back next week. She's been on this show before. And you a nurse too? Y'all probably had gunshot victims.
Man, what do they say about
type
nurses?
in just a numeric number. How many bad boys have you dated? Just 10? No, I'm messing with her now. What do you think? We talked about it. I do think early on in life, we'll briefly talk about, I'll start. Let's talk about women who are out of their 20s. 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever the case.
Okay.
If they do want a long-term partner, I now see women of those ages saying, oh, I want a nerd. I need me a nice guy now.
Right.
And now I'm getting to the end of the show. At the end of the show, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of the bad boy. But clearly that they're saying that lets you know that they didn't bang their head up against the wall
after
20 times.
After bad boy number 10 has like
so
really like ran through and just did them in and gave them 2 kids and all of that. Now you want a good guy that's financially stable, watching his finances, not being
wild,
not being wild.
Not making you carry dope.
Yeah, not making you hide dope. Right now, you want a corporate guy,
right?
Who wants to come home and just like watch some TV and get a foot rub and look, that's it.
Yikes! I still think, believe it or not, we're gonna do a show on cheating because I'm petty. If I see another, first off, we all know men since the beginning of time, if they have options, a high percentage of those men take advantage of those options. One thing we don't talk about, and I know this because I was single one time and I'm on the side of great looking, a lot of women cheat. Now, I'm just going to say it there. Did you know who gets cheated on the most? Think poor or rich men? Which would you think?
I mean, my guess would definitely be rich men.
Yeah, I thought poor.
With my experience.
Right, with your experience, right. with your lived experience.
My lived experience tells me that it's
because they out working on whatever they do, and I have seen.
No.
You think it's different?
I actually just believe that all people have to have is opportunity.
I used to think that for men all the time, but ladies, I'm not just saying this.
It's both.
It's just getting, man, listen.
It's
so
both,
when I see a woman say,
don't wreck your brain into thinking that it's some scientific explanation as to why and when and all. It's all opportunity and the likelihood of that thing kind of getting back to their spouse, right? Some people thrive off of the risky part of it, and some people, they look for less risky situations just to make sure that it does not get back to the spouse. But at the end of the day, it's 50-50.
Absolutely. Easy.
Men cheat, women cheat.
Listen, there's some studies, KG, that are saying now soon women will pay. Absolutely. I think it's there already, but they don't have. You just start getting women to readily admit that on us because they wouldn't even admit.
It's just opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. But people, some people act on it, some people don't.
But it's more advantageous, or no, I'm sorry. How do I say this? It's less risky for women because the number 2 guy, the guy, let's say a woman is cheating with a guy. That dude ain't never gonna try to be your number 1. He ain't trying to pay your bills. He ain't trying to do none of that. When a guy cheats, that woman is trying to take the spot. She's showing up. She calling your girl, etc. The number 2 guy, I've heard, don't ever tell. That dude want to keep hitting. Right. But women gonna try to show up at your girl porch. They sending letters. So anyway, that's a whole nother. I'm getting off on a tangent from somebody told.
Sometimes, no, man. Sometimes
you don't never see no dude going to no dude's house. That's an ass whooping or a gunshot wound.
Oh no. As far as like trying to take the woman from dude and all of that, I mean that's
Oh wait a minute.
I don't think that.
Sidebar. I got to tell y'all about this TikTok video. I'm gonna put it up if I can remember. There's a guy who gets a phone call.
Yeah.
From the dude. He's the guy with the woman.
Yes.
The guy cheating.
Yeah.
Calls.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So my man gets the call. He's like, yeah, who this? Oh yeah, I knew you was hitting.
Yeah.
He was like, she asked you for $1,000. You only gave her $850.
Yeah.
Nigga, if you gonna share the pussy, share my expenses.
Share the whole thing, right.
But my point is, he didn't even trip. That was hilarious to me. So good guys again. I think women understand later on in life. I think they want stability, and dependability, and gainfully employed, less drama. I think and it's part of the end of the show. We got a little bit of time left.
I think that they understand the good and the bad.
And the trauma that they've gone through.
For some reason, women think that they have time. They think that they can play in the fields and still have time to land a good guy to live happily ever after with.
Yeah.
What they don't understand is, like, men, we are definitely judged on our future.
Correct.
Women are definitely judged on their past.
They hate that.
And
by the
who
way.
they,
They can't
who
stand
dealt
knowing
with.
that. They don't
Yeah.
like knowing that.
Yeah, they think that they can.
I get cursed out anytime I post something that
They think that they can delete their
I
past.
get cursed
and
out.
They think that they can, for some reason, I don't know why.
They don't want to feel bad about it either.
They think that they can delete their past.
Right. And it's nothing to feel
There's
bad
no
about.
delete button.
Right. If you the goods, it is what it is. You can't take it back. Right.
Yeah.
It's your resume. That's your relationship resume.
Your relationship resume.
I
So
just
he
came-
said
I
this.
came up-
So I'm gonna get extremely blunt here, and I'm gonna get extremely blunt, right? I want you guys to really understand this.
The thoughts and views he about to say are not necessarily the Christian
Right. That's the disclaimer. This is what I want you to understand, right? And it may be too late for a lot of you to really understand this, right? But I wish I was able to get this message to you as a young kid, because in relationships, especially the sexual part of the relationships, it's only one or two situations or scenarios, right? There will always be a story told about your sexual past.
Damn Skippy.
Always be, remember that. There will always be a story that will be told about your sexual past, okay? Either I loved you or I fucked you. That's it. There's no in between.
Or they fucked you.
Yeah.
Or me and the homies.
Right. There's no in between.
No.
Right? I will tell you this. You are responsible for what is told about your story.
But what
Okay.
about men?
It
What
can't-
about
it can't
them?
be- yeah,
but
it
men
can't be
do
deleted.
it too. But
Yeah,
men do it
it won't be
too.
deleted. It's one or two things that will be told about your story or who you have sexual interaction with.
Mm-hmm.
Either he fucked you or he loved you.
True that.
Okay? There will always be a story that is told. All right? Now, it may not get back to, your people, his people, or whoever you don't want it, but there is going to be a story to be told. Now, if you care about that story, you're in charge, man. The women are in charge of that story and what story is being told about them. Right? So, you make the call.
I think that was perfect, by the way. We do endorse that. Delilah Lucas, I just knew you had more. You only had 2 bad boys in your life. Good for you. I knew she was one of the better ones. If you'd have said 7, I'd have been a little scared you was going to bring a knife on the set, just in case I said something wrong. She said, wow, this is something you don't read every day. She said, women don't like to feel shame, which is why the majority lack accountability. I think that's...
Talk about accountability. Okay.
That's a buck. I'm even scared to do a show on that. I've posted a few. During the week, I'll post subjects that men and women typically see differently.
Mm-hmm.
Erica, you over there? I'm sorry, I said your government name. E. There are actually women I've known my whole life that see me like, oh, I'm glad to see you the same, Kris. Because I said, the post, I got to get people to watch the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and those are things we should think about. I got everything I say on these shows, but I tell my daughters, your reputation is what it is.
Yeah. It's everything.
It was a couple things. Oh, only thing I wanted to mention, I did take a few notes on that childhood trauma stuff. You mentioned most of it.
Yeah.
A lot of them seeking love and validation. It's familiarity, like you said, they're used to that.
Used to the toxic relationships.
And some people have, whether they know it or not, they avoid, I don't know if they call it attachment, but a lot of, let's say a girl has been through childhood trauma. She don't like getting close to people.
Trauma bonding is what it is.
It's exactly what it is. And what that means is this guy he'll love bomb you, but then it'll be some drama, it'll be almost hell, and y'all repeat that.
Yeah.
And y'all become codependent on each other. Trauma bonding, that's exactly what it is.
Trauma bonding is what it is. Now, some of that trauma bonding, again, we talked about being in dysfunctional families and stuff like that. So you kind of think that that there is some form of trauma that has to happen in order for your relationships to be, really successful, because you've seen either your aunts and uncles or parents or, grandparents or whoever, just have, some of the toxic traits. So again, you have to, kind of deal with those types of things through therapy and get those things analyzed a little bit to see exactly like where your flaws are. You got to be comfortable with, like talking to people, seeing therapists, and and really working through some of those things, because if you do not, you're going to continue to repeat the same cycle. Some of you guys are asking like, man, why am I continuing to attract the same type of guys? It may be something that you're not dealing with necessarily in order to, like really overcome, so that you can get past that deliberateness of, man, I need this bad boy, right? So that, you can, like be able to appreciate somebody that's actually being nice to you or treating you well, and being able to.
That feels like dysfunction to some people.
That feels like.
And I'll say this, and I'll keep it a buck.
Or boredom.
what you just said, and this goes for men and women. Yeah. If you're going relationship to relationship, and you see a brother that say, man, all women are this, or a woman that says all men are that, they need to sit on somebody's couch yesterday. Their problem's going to follow them. It is what it is. Because, and I didn't see this. I saw, what's the conservative guy? Jordan Peterson. Okay. One of these statisticians, real bright guy. I don't know if he's extreme left or right, but he's a smart dude. But I heard him say something. Actually, I watched it with the wife. It was something, you want the truth about marriage? And it was like, you got to be honest with yourself and all this like grown-up stuff to get through life, getting along with somebody. Yeah. But one of the things was, you're supposed to have problems. He said they got studies that show if you have less than 4 disagreements, and I forget the length of time, or then it's a problem. And if you have more than 11 or something like that, it's a problem. Meaning, it's a healthy amount that is a relationship. Yeah. Because if you're in a relationship with this woman here, y'all don't think the same. Y'all got you got to adjust, and period. But that part is normal. So when you see people say, you see a lot of people say, oh, they're not happy. Well, sometimes they're at odds. But happiness can be a choice, as long as you're not choking me out.
Yeah, it's not. A lot of times it's not necessarily even at odds. We may just be on different pages, but we need to, actually work on trying to get on the same page. A lot of people are just not willing to just do the work to get on the same page. And we all grew up, in different households with different traumas and things like that. Getting on the same page, is not something magical that happens. It comes with, work and sacrifice and commitment and all of those types of things in order to do that. And a lot of people are just, they don't think that if I got to work for it, then it wasn't really, my calling or my thing or my gift from God. Right. No. God has, is going to give you the tools to work through what it is that you need to work through in order to get on the same page. You just need to do the work. Now, if you're lazy and don't want to do the work, then relationships and stuff like that is just not for you. It's not your thing.
And I don't think it's for everybody.
There is no magical pill that you take that is ultimately just going to grant you all of the things that you want within your life and your relationship that you don't have to work for. And the work is continuous. You will never, ever, I believe that you will never, ever get to a point where you will not have to do any work.
Absolutely. You sound like the late, great Matt Levy. Shout out, Big Matt. My father used to say, don't bullshit yourself. Yeah. And when you say do work, what a lot of people don't understand, it's work. You got to face something in yourself that you don't like.
It's work constantly. Yeah.
And people don't like doing that. Yep. And I have seen, and it's through how we are socialized now. In 2025, if I want to get on the basketball court, we got like 2 minutes left. If I'm fourth grade, and KG's on the court, my boy Kendall on the court, they going to get picked first. I got to wait. I have to learn to practice and play better. Yeah. For whatever reason, a lot, and that's why I put my daughters in sports and dance, just so I have to wait and lose. Mm-hmm. Some people don't get that, and they can't deal with it. Yeah. Maybe when they're older, and they don't want to think that they're ever wrong. And if you're in a relationship, you're wrong sometimes. People, it's hard.
Got to be able to
and
accept
more women see that because men, we done got into fights. I done lost. I done got in a scuffle on the court. Well, I done, and like lucky I done hit this dude and got away. I'm like, damn, men push, you just get humbled more being a guy. I don't know what it is about life. We don't have money, the world is looking down on us. And I've been there. When a woman don't have money, it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
You get with a guy,
Oh, yeah.
and he builds you up, you got $200,000. Oh man, that's a great couple. If he doesn't have it, and why she with him? Men are judged. We get that dose often, and it's a blessing in that spot because if you're a woman who does want a long-term relationship, and that ain't for everybody, right? If you in a spot, you got some money. Hey, I'm not judging that, but if you do. It's not going to happen if you're dishonest with yourself. Because usually the guy you want, he ain't putting up with that bullshit.
Exactly.
The dude that'll hit, he'll listen to you all day.
Exactly.
He'll let you drink Hennessy and smoke weed for breakfast. But that guy you want, he going to have some standards and some boundaries that you don't want to deal with.
Absolutely.
And you got to hear it.
Yeah. And that's
and that's what that bad boy used to let you do.
And that's one of the things that a bad boy will do, right? He grants you with the freedom and all of that type of stuff because in most cases, none of that shit really matters, right? But for somebody who got their shit together, all of it matters, right? How you move, how you roll, the decisions you make, all of those things matter. So choose wisely, right?
I got one last thing, and then KG, Gina, I ain't gonna lie, you close out the show after I get it because you've been killing it. I'm gonna tell Gina B she got to step her game up when she get back. So I'm just gonna give a couple long-term. You get some long-term damage. Just keep. I think a lot of women know this who are older, but just in case, I do have about 10% of people who are under 35 watch the show. I watch the analytics. You can have a decline in self-worth over time dealing with a bad boy. Mental health issues. Your beliefs could be compromised. You will become a more emotionally volatile. That's in any I think that happens in any a bunch of failed relationships. You will become emotionally volatile, and you'll have stress. And so that's when I hear women say, "Well, men worried about body count." I said, even if we don't ask, we don't need to necessarily know. We can tell how you behave if you've been with 60 guys or you've been with one. Those two women act totally different. I don't care who. That chick is, if she happy, she gonna be flirtatious, she gonna be doing whatever. That chick she's feeling innocent and feminine and warm, and that chick is rough. I don't know how to say that anymore, but that's all I got. KG, what else you got? You want to close us out on why do women date bad boys? And it could be fun for a minute, get you one in and then leave it alone. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I could add to that is do not be afraid to date, the nice guy, the guy that is actually here to treat you well and all. I mean, a lot of you guys, are God-fearing and right.
Allegedly.
And if God, allegedly, right. And if God sends you, like a good guy and somebody that is looking to, really have good intentions for you and with you, man, respect that, right? Because it could be a reformed bad guy, right? Bad boy that is, just really looking to change his life and
absolutely,
right. That could be something that could be special for the both of you. But if you get addicted to that bad boy behavior, that's not necessarily easy to just really get out of your system. It carries on and. The honest thing about it,
you're gonna be a hoe forever.
Bad boys see it a mile.
We don't want you to just be out here hoeing and you 70 years old.
Away.
It don't end the same. But look, we got to get out of here. Delilah, I see. Thank you for saying great show. Hey, Delilah. So Delilah's trying to be back next week.
Okay.
I'm putting KG on the air because y'all see I had notes. He like Gina B. They don't bring notes. I'm trying to put together a group. Delilah, if you here next week, I'm a bug KG. We're gonna come back. I'm putting together a team, and we have like 6 people, and then we come on different times because Y'all tired of seeing me. It is what it is. All right, that's all I got. KG, thanks a lot, man. You killed it. As always, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man.
You
Thanks
come
for
here
having me.
anytime. We out of here. Turn the camera on so I can start cursing and talking about some of these chicks I know and some of their real life stories. We out of here.
Salute.
Thanks, E. I almost brought you over on the couch. You know that, right? I think you worse than my wife. I was thinking to myself, like, she ain't gonna get up.